11 Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League. They say you save the best for last. Well, tonight we hope that is the case. Welcome to the Hive in Atlanta, Georgia, where two heavyweight titans in the Simulation Football League are clashing tonight. Alongside Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine, and we've got a great matchup here tonight for you all. The top two offenses in the SFL, both averaging 445 yards per game, hit the field. Charles, this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah, this is going to be a heavyweight battle. We've got two titans, as you said when we let off here, but they're both coming off losses last week, and they're fighting to stay within the pack for the playoff rush. I think it's going to be a great game, but at the end of the day, I think both teams are going to win or lose based on the output of their all-pro running backs.
Atlanta, on top of that, sports the #1 turnover differential in the league tonight, and I'm sure turnovers, as they always do, will play a huge part in tonight's ball game. Atlanta has won the toss. They want to kick, and the kickoff is coming up. Charles, your keys to the game?
I think the keys, as I stated at the offset, we're going to need to watch the running backs on both sides. I think the win is going to come off of how either BDG Hollywood or Odom do on each respective team. We've got great players on both sides of the ball. We've got great offenses, and we can't forget the defenses. They're not bad. They've got some really quality players on both teams, and it's going to be a shootout.
The kickoff is no longer next. It is right now, and Atlanta's Alex Kidd has the ball on the tee. We've been waiting all day for this one here at SFL headquarters and with our crew in Atlanta. Atlanta, kick it! We're underway. On Sunday night, prime time on 11 Sports, Corey Carter returns up to the 33-yard line. And once more, alongside Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine. Settle in. We are going to have a fun night tonight.
So here comes E.T. King leading the offense, and for most quarterbacks I'd say they have to get over the jitters, but King's an all-pro. He's a KG veteran, and he's the leader of the offense, so I don't expect it on the Chicago side.
And King unquestionably leads the league in passing yards, 1,858 coming into the week, as King out of the shotgun, drops back to pass, dumps it off short. That's Odom out of the backfield, picking up 9 yards before he's wrapped up at the end of the play by big number 99, Joshua Williams, chasing him down from behind.
Yeah, that's going to be a great matchup. I think on the defensive side, Williams, as the defense goes, so will Williams. And Odom, as we said before, he's a workhorse. I think that was a smart play to lead off to keep the defense guessing.
If this is your first time watching the Simulation Football League, we'll get into all about what this is throughout the night. Two in the backfield. Odom gets the carry, gets a first down. But before we get to that, Odom on the Roland on the tackle. Let's meet the Chicago offense. E.T. King, Ash Odom is that running back. Then a trio of three talented receivers, J.C. Torres, Buchanan Simons, and Corey Carter, along with the savvy veteran, number 88, Shan Varner, in his 8th season in the SFL, 5th with his Wildcats. 1st and 10 at the own 44, and King's pass is caught by Simons for a first down, and we are off to a fast and furious start here tonight, Charles.
Yeah, he's got King has quality on every point on the offensive side. He's got 3 stud receivers in Carter, Simons, Torres, and Varner, and I can't wait to see what he does with the ball.
Denver Nightwings in the chat says, how many bits is it to get Cam to call a Denver game? It's been too long without your voice calling my name. Well, how many names are there? There's over 300 different names in the SFL that we have the ability to call out, Charles, and I'm sure many more can make their presence known in the chat tonight by going to twitch.tv/11sportsnext. Odom picks up 3 on that little toss out to bring up 2nd and 7.
Yeah, smart balance call playing on the Chicago side, and Atlanta settling in here trying to figure out if they can get some tendencies for the Chicago offense.
Take a look out of the defense, and the handoff goes to Odom, and for the first time tonight, Odom gains no yards. A combo tackle leading the way. Number 58, Aquantis Shine of Atlanta. And let's meet that swarm defense. Joshua Williams, who chased down Odom earlier tonight at defensive tackle. Look out for him. Dylan Rowland and Aquantis Shine are two veteran linebackers with a combined 15 seasons of experience. Jack Napier is the rookie of this squad, along with Blake Hamrack. They're both corners. The safeties are Aaron Lee and Blake Chance. 3rd and 7, E.T. King going long, got popped, and the pass is incomplete through the hands of Simons. It may have got a deflection on that, was Napier at the back end of that play, but either way, King nearly had a touchdown there, but Atlanta's defense gets the first stop of the night.
Yeah, that was a big stop. Chicago was driving down the field, smart play calling, and they just settled in right at the right point. 3rd down, kept them from making the first down. Big play for the Atlanta defense.
So we talked about it in pregame, Charles, off air. We were saying that these two offenses that are so tremendous, sometimes when two offenses get together, you have 7-6 ball games, and everyone wonders and scratches their head, how the heck did that happen? Well,
right.
So far so good for Atlanta's defense, and for the first time tonight, we get to meet Marcus Dunhill. Marcus Dunhill, a sensational story in the SFL, and he is having a breakout season with the Swarm offense.
Yeah, one of the things that stands out is he's not throwing as many interceptions per game as he did last season, and he's really developing into a cool-headed leader on the offensive side.
Dunhill starts under center with BDG Hollywood in the backfield. He's going to take a deep drop back. They're going for it all in the first play, and it's caught by Wooding. Wooding past the 40, past the 30, breaks a tackle. Jamal Wooding on the first Atlanta play is going to score, and the Swarm are up by 6.
What a great play on first down. They weren't expecting the tight end to go deep. He was wide open, and Jamal Wooding takes it all the way to the house. His 5th touchdown of the year, and he stays on top of the league as a leading tight end with touchdowns for 5.
Wow, what a bomb. Talk about a change in mindset, Charles. This Atlanta team, who has been hovering around 500 for far too long in the SFL, I think they just can sense that this offense is so high-powered, there's no need to mess around.
They've never been afraid to shoot the gun deep, and it's just the problem was with the interceptions. But I think they're starting to gel on offense, and that connection purely shows that they've got something going on between Wooding and Dunhill.
So Alex Kidd will be on to attempt the extra point. Dunhill, that is his 11th touchdown of the season. The extra point is good. Since Atlanta had a bye, they only have 4 games under their belt. So Dunhill not at the top of any particular leaderboards, but he has been tremendous on a per-game basis. And Charles, this Atlanta crowd has been just craving the return of Swarm football. Only one home game in about 6 weeks. Atlanta had a bye. They've also had 3 of their first 4 games on the road. Their only win at home, a 27-7 victory over St. Louis. But this is a whole nother level here in primetime.
Yeah, and so far it looks like the home cooking is proven well here on the field.
So Carter gets the return out to the 30-yard line, and E.T. King, who has a completion percentage of 67.5 this season, 10 yards per attempt. That, folks, is number 1 in the league. 11 touchdowns, but he's a gunslinger. 10 interceptions along with that as well. 8:12 to go in the first quarter. Atlanta starts off red hot here at home in a battle of one-loss teams. Both teams coming off their first loss of the season as King fires it outside, caught by Simons, turns the corner. Simons near a first down, but he may have put a toe on the white line just shy of the sticks.
Yeah, good first down play. I don't think we're going to see a lot of targets to Torres. He's been E.T. King's favorite target with 54 for the season, but I think the Atlanta defense is going to focus on trying to lock him down.
And with Wooding, that's his 5th touchdown of the season, is it not? And that now leads the all tight ends in receiving touchdowns here in our 13th season of the SFL on a 2nd and short. Odom is going to get the first down. Nice job waiting for his blockers. Picks up 4 out to the 44-yard line. So the Simulation Football League is a place where you can become a player, coach, owner, scout, statistician, beat writer, broadcaster. Am I leaving anything out? I guess you could
You could do podcasts.
That's right. You could do podcasts. You could, or you could just be a fan and
write
sit
some
here
songs, maybe do some music videos.
Maybe so. Maybe so. Get a little All-Pro Party sequel out there. Shout out to Rob Roby for the All-Pro Party remix we had a couple of seasons ago. As Shine holds Odom to 2 yards.
Yeah, big tackle by Shine. Everyone knows that Shine's a tackling machine, and he showed it on that play. He's a great tackler.
Maybe here on a Sunday night, especially out on the West Coast, somebody's at the bar or at a restaurant kicking one back and wishing they didn't have to go back to work tomorrow. And you could settle in with us and forget it's one day away from Monday as Simons makes yet another catch. Charles, Buchanan Simons here early on in this game is dominating the targets. We have not heard from any of the other receivers for Chicago all night.
Well, they're locking down Torres, I believe, so it's going to be a lot of passes, a lot of targets to Torres and Odom out of the backfield.
4 receivers now for King, 2 to either side, and again a nickel look for Atlanta as King drops back to pass. Will fire on a corner route. That pass is well defended and incomplete. Pass knocked away by Blake Hamrick, who had a tremendous game last week. But more importantly, the pass intended for Trevor Driver, the backup tight end. I'm surprised that wasn't Varner out in the pattern.
Yeah, that was a dangerous pass. Maybe he was expecting, most of the the tight ends that he's used, maybe had a little more speed than he was seeing on that play. So the defensive player had a shot at it, but it's an opportunity missed. 2nd
and 10 at the 45-yard line as King will fire it outside just for a short 2-yard pickup. And that is J.C. Torres' first catch of the night. And here's another, Charles, 3rd and long, just inside Atlanta territory. This is where the drive stalled out last time. Yeah, they're going to have to make this one because Atlanta has shown that they can move the ball quickly down the field and score. Again, a 2 either side look, doubles look here, and press coverage on the line, playing man defense out there, and King forced to take the underneath route to Simons. Simons already with 4 catches on 5 targets, but again, Chicago's drive's going to come up empty, and Atlanta's got to love this start. Yeah, another big stop for the Atlanta Swarm defense. Chicago has not shown a very good track record this season for 3rd down conversions. They're at 37%, which is way near the bottom of the league. And for Atlanta, they're trying to bounce back off a 33-31, totally insanity loss to the Pharaohs in a wild game that was on the 11 Sports Network last week. That punt's going to bounce inside the 10, inside the 5, and roll all the way down to the goal line. And what a way to pin Atlanta deep. We'll take a short break. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Stay with us. .5:30 to go in the first quarter, the exact halfway mark, and Atlanta is up 7-0 over Chicago, but pinned deep in their own territory here on the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports. Dunhill going to throw. Dunhill nearly takes a safety, and the pass is ruled incomplete to Siege Falco. That may be worth a challenge. Yeah, it looked like he had a foot in there. Hopefully they'll throw a flag and get a review here. Let's take a look. Yep, we're going to get a challenge here. And Coach Chisholm doing the right thing there because it looked like Falco was in. Our 62 never disappoints, never is without entertainment. And let's see another look at it. That's where you get to see the maturation of Dunhill there. I think maybe last year, previous seasons, he might have held onto the ball a little longer and maybe got in some trouble in the end zone there. He got rid of the ball quickly, made the decision, got it to the right receiver, and first down. And that's an easy catch or an easy call. He got at least 1 foot in, which is all you need in the SFL, but it looked like he may have even dragged a second there at the end of that play. So Chisholm's 1 for 1 on challenges tonight. And Dunhill already has 95 yards on a perfect quarterback rating. Of course, that was only his second throw here with about 6 minutes gone here in the first quarter. 2 in the backfield. Hollywood still has not gotten a carry. And there's the free play, and there's the Hollywood handoff. And BDG makes 2 people miss before he's put down. They'll take the penalty. The Atlanta Swarm offense is led by Dunhill. BDG Hollywood in the backfield. Hollywood has been the workhorse and the touchdown machine for this squad this season in his 6th season. Siege Falco and Boo Chisholm are the receivers, and of course we've already met the big 6'6", 255 Jamal Wooding here tonight, who got the first touchdown.
Yeah, that was a fine hello.
Hello, everyone in the
Look
stadium.
at me.
Look at me. The touchdown man here tonight. 5, count them, 5 touchdowns on the season. 1st and 5 at the 21-yard line for Atlanta. Off the penalty. First penalty of the night. Wooding is lined up off the left side of the line, and that pass out to Falco is caught for a first down at the 28-yard line, and Dylan Rowland on the sideline waiting to get back into action. Loves it. Atlanta in their all bright blues tonight with those white helmets, and Chicago in their traditional white get-ups on the road with the silver gray helmets.
Yeah, both uniforms looking pretty sharp. Falco not having the typical Falco season. He's only got 1 touchdown, so hopefully he can change that tonight.
First down and 10 at the 28-yard line. And the handoff goes to Hollywood, and he gets plastered at the 29. Only a gain of 1. That's Clint Hendershot making a tremendous play. Hendershot along with Blake Craze, who we've not gotten to talk about yet tonight, are 2 of the top 3 tacklers in the league. Craze with a whopping 73, and Hendershot right behind him with 60.
Yeah, Hendershot is a beast. It's hard to bring down Hollywood in the open field like that. We saw his closing speed and tackling ability.
Oh, that pass is picked off, looking for Wooding deep down the field. Spurgeon makes 2 people miss. Oh, we got a block. Spurgeon all the way down to the 20-yard line. What a return and a great block on the back end of that play. Puts Chicago in the red zone. I thought this was another touchdown.
Yeah, definitely. Spurgeon, it looked like he was reading that all the way, and he snatched it away from Wooding, took it all the way. I thought he was going to the house, but Hollywood took a touchdown away from him with that tackle.
First down and 10 at the 20-yard line. 4:02 to go. What a start for Chicago. At least avoiding a 14-0 deficit potentially. Is that pass by King caught by... No, they said that was out of bounds too. What are they doing? They're trying to suppress these 2 offenses here. I think Chicago should challenge that one too.
Offensive suppression. Yeah, he might have got 2 feet on that play. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're going to challenge it, so...
2nd and 10 at the 20-yard line. I'm really surprised there. I think they should have. Odom. Oh, great blocking up front. Odom's got a 1st and goal, and that's why you don't have to challenge it, because Ash Odom nearly took that one to the house. Tremendous offensive line work.
Yeah, you look at the hole. When he takes it right up, it looks like right off center there. Wide open, fast hole entry, and you could see that he's once he gets the ball, he's got a good chance of getting a first down.
Credit to Alfonso Freeney, the fullback, who, laid a licking on a linebacker at the 2nd level, or just past the 1st level. 1st and goal at the 10-yard line, 3:30 to go. Off the Maurice Spurgeon interception, King will fire it out to Torres, and he was out of bounds. My goodness gracious. That one, I think, a good call, but Chicago's got to watch these sidelines.
Oh, definitely. Well, it's hard to throw on the secondary of Atlanta, so I think it's probably a safer bet for them to go on the side instead of trying to go in the middle.
3:24 to play in the first quarter. Chicago has bounced back from giving up that touchdown on Atlanta's first offensive play of the night. The handoff goes to Odom past the 10, and Odom gets to the 7. So here we go, 3rd and goal from the... This is 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8. We've seen this all night out of Chicago's offense.
Yeah, here I go with the broken record. It's another big 3rd down. If they stop them here, they keep the momentum from turning to Chicago.
Chat shout-outs, Mr. 23, Brown Knight, Swole 2011, Mastermind 450. Siege Falco in the chat. Packer Fred 38053. Eddie Gage. Kumbaya 24. Stephen at Large and many others. As King's pass is caught, and Torres. Boy, the ball took forever to get there, and Torres had to adjust to it. And Chicago, once again on 3rd and long, is going to come up empty in terms of moving the chains. They'll have to kick for 3.
Yeah, it looks like the Atlanta defense wasn't giving away any routes in the end zone, so they had to dump it off to Torres, and quick reaction by the Atlanta secondary keeping him from getting in the end zone.
So this field goal, a chipper from 20 yards away to get Chicago on the board off the Maurice Spurgeon interception. Good snap, good hold. And that was the definition of routine. From 20 yards away, Chicago is on the board, and we will be back shortly. 2:22 to go in the first. Atlanta 7, Chicago 3. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, live on 11 Sports. .222 to go in the first quarter. Atlanta 7, Chicago 3. Alongside Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine. And we are in week 6 of the Simulation Football League's regular season. 13 weeks in the regular season as Walker, specifically Javon Walker, returns that up. And we haven't gotten to talk about every Chicago defender tonight. Worth mentioning Clint Hendershot and Blake Craze of the linebackers. Greg Gaines, who's having a nice season from Oklahoma City, and Jesse Vick are the corners in the safeties. Spurgeon got the interception on the last drive. Barnes, A.J. Barnes is also out there. Charles, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different players tonight on the field that have had at least 6 seasons in the SFL. I don't think we've ever seen that many players in a matchup that are so experienced and know just exactly what they're doing out there.
Definitely. A lot of experience out there, and also on the Chicago defense side, a lot of interceptions. If you count the total just for the contracted player, I mean, you have at least 12 interceptions, I believe, on the starting side.
Yeah, that's impressive. 2nd down and 11 with 2 minutes to go in the first. Out of the eye for Dunhill. Back to pass. Dunhill fires over the middle. Caught by Wooding. Wooding's got a first down at the Chicago 48. And if memory serves me, the interception is the only technical incompletion for Dunhill so far tonight.
Yeah, so far. And that was, look at Wooding with the wily veteran move down there in the middle. He had a very small opening, and Dunhill was able to find it to him and get a first down.
The chat's on your screen. If you want to participate in the chat tonight, visit 11 Sports' Twitch channel, twitch.tv/11 Sports Next. You can do that from your phone while you watch from your comforts of your couch on the big screen tonight as Hollywood picks up a couple out to the Wildcat 47-yard line, and Craze is really excited about that tackle. He's excited about every tackle.
Yeah, anytime you bring down Hollywood, you have to have a celebration. But I think they need to keep giving it to Hollywood because I think he's once he gets into a groove, it's going to be hard to stop Atlanta.
Craze must have said something. I don't know if you saw Hollywood. He actually went back to Craze and started talking to him. He was upset about something that Craze said as Dunhill to a wide open Boo Chisholm on the far sideline to the Wildcat 34. Dunhill's 7 of 8 for 137, and he's getting whatever he wants out there.
Yeah, I think maybe they were thinking about Falco or Wooding on that pass, and Chisholm was wide open.
That was at the end of that play, number 23, Brandon Vesey on the tackle. Greg Gaines came over late to try to give him some help, but Atlanta is trucking down the field again. This is their 3rd possession. No punts, an interception, and a touchdown. Dunhill to throw, fires it outside Hollywood. Hollywood past the 30 and a nice open field tackle made by Vick. 6-yard gain to the Wildcat 28.
Yeah, I like the way they made a mistake on the last series. They're not letting it get to them, and they're doing a very efficient drive here.
22 seconds. First quarter winding down as Atlanta threatens to score again. Out to Hollywood, needs a block. Didn't get one. Nice play. Is that Craze? Man, he is electric. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. Chicago trying to get a stand and keep this a one-score game. We're back to the Hive in Atlanta in a moment. Tonight's Simulation Football League broadcast, presented by APM Music, is brought to you by APM Music, Production Music Library, and Custom Music House. By Fuel Beyond the Imagination, visit the all-new SFLinteractive.net today. By Matt Gold Designs, the official branding partner of the Simulation Football League, and by MediaTek Institute, turn your passion into your profession. Aerial shots provided to you by AirViews. Visit airviews.com and look at, of course, do you remember the year that Atlanta hosted the Olympics, Charles? Come to mind? I think it was 1996.
Oh, see, I told you.
Said, boy, I'm glad I didn't take you on the streets today in Atlanta, because they would have been very upset.
Oh, well.
3rd and 5 at the 29-yard line. Dunhill back to pass. Dunhill all kinds of time, but it's breaking down. Avoids a sack. 2 Wildcats end up on the ground.
Unbelievable.
The pass is caught inside the 5 down to the 3, and it's Wooding again. No, it's actually Javon Walker with the catch in the 1st and goal. What a play by Dunhill.
You don't see that very often. I think he was hit by 2 linemen there, and they weren't able to bring him down. And I think 84, the tight end, was able to maybe slip out of a block and go wide open down the field.
Wow, nice heads-up play down the field to keep the play alive by Walker. And Dunhill not shy to throw it to the role player. And now inside the 5-yard line, Dunhill and the Swarm are in business as he'll drop it off to BDG, and the touchdown machine's got another one, and Atlanta's up 10 in the first half.
Well, they did that power formation a couple times on the drive, and it wasn't successful, but on this one, they took it to the house. And looks like this is a big play here for Atlanta, and Chicago's going to need to bounce back after they get the ball.
We have seen some amazing plays so far to start week 6. This is the 5th game of the day, 4th on the 11 Sports Network. We have seen some really crazy plays, but you know what we haven't seen, Charles, is a team break 27 points. That's the highest score of the day. It's been dominated defensively. We thought we might have some more points here tonight. Atlanta certainly has delivered. Chicago still trying to figure things out as Atlanta now leads 14-3. Make sure to like the SFL on Instagram at SimulationFL and give our partner nations best a like as well. Some great stuff on their Instagram, and our Instagram is slowly but surely working its way up the leaderboards of social media. Team Instagram.
And I believe that was Hollywood's first reception touchdown of the season.
That is shocking, given all of his accolades.
You can correct me if I'm wrong in chat, but I believe so.
Yeah, I'll leave it up to the chat. I certainly would never do
I'm wrong.
that. Oh, they'll let you know if something's happening and going wrong in that chat we're talking about. In the chat right now, it's not just fans watching at home. It's the players, it's the coaches, it's the owners. Pure 2K12, that's Marcus Dunhill. I'm effing problem, that's a Qantas Shine. Siege Falco, no explanation needed. BDG or Swole 2011 is Joshua Williams. So tons of Swarm representing in the chat. I saw Udoncha in there as well. That's Sham Varner. And I don't know what in the world E.T. King was doing there as Odom got hung up trying to come on a short crosser, and King just threw it in the dirt.
Yeah, that was a very odd play. It looks like he was thrown for the second halfback maybe went out of a block for a pass in the middle. Maybe it looks like he didn't run the right route, obviously.
Either way, E.T. King struggling a little bit against this Swarm defense. They've really stepped up here tonight in the first half at home. They've only given up now 10 points at home in just a little over 5 quarters. King's pass, wow. Man. And how about King's looking for a PI. I don't think so. He's lucky that Dylan Rowland didn't come up with the pick, and that was actually Freeney playing a little defense out there at fullback.
Yeah, he threw it right at Rowland's numbers. It was a hard pass to make. You see he kind of twisted his body as he went forward in the pocket, and didn't come out of his hands right, and it almost didn't end right for them.
Siege Falco says in the chat, I think he sneezed when he threw that ball on first down. It's possible. Another 3rd and long here. King going all the way down the field. It's intercepted. The middle was, blanketed. And the sides, it looked like there was an open receiver maybe to the top of the screen. Either way, that pass is picked off by Blake Chance, and Chicago is a mess. Look at all the Swarm defenders here. Yeah,
I count 3 at least around the receiver, and that's Blake Chance's second interception of the season.
And 6 total defenders on the screen there for Atlanta. This has been a mess of a first half for Chicago. Again, Chicago is the number 1 offense, averaging 445 yards per game, and that has definitely not been the case here in the first half as Hollywood takes a swing. Oh, Hollywood made 3 people miss, and he picks up 9 to the Wildcat 42. Stop it, BDG.
Yeah, that's I mentioned on their last series they ran that formation a couple times to no success, except for when they went into the end zone. But on that one, you could clearly see why they're running it. BDG was doing disco fever out there going around the defenders.
Holy moly, 2nd and 1 at the 42, 2 in the backfield, and a nickel look for Chicago. Everyone's coming up at Hollywood, able to get the first down. Boy, Atlanta's lucky they didn't run to the outside because Hollywood could have been saying a funeral for him.
Definitely. I think the Chicago defense doesn't know what to expect from Atlanta at this point. They've been throwing on the outside, and they've been throwing down the middle to the tight end, then they surprise them up the middle with a halfback run.
Tight set here. This is a unique look for the Swarm. Hollywood in the backfield. And everybody tied up on the line, just 6 in the box. They're going to flip it out to Hollywood looking for some blockers. Hollywood made another man miss. That was crazy. But Spurgeon, too smart, along with Vic on the tackle.
He almost did it again, but Chicago wasn't going to have anything to do with that for a second time. They were waiting for him.
A couple minutes into the second quarter here, and it's been mostly Atlanta here in the first half. Great play by Spurgeon to get the interception, but other than that, Dunhill has been electrifying, as has Hollywood.
Wow.
I don't know how he got the first down amongst 3 Wildcats. He's feeling it.
Yep.
And Atlanta is just everywhere.
Yeah, that's pure effort. He fought his way tooth and nail to that first down marker.
Watch his feet slide past the sticks.
It went by
there.
4 defenders to get that first down.
Hollywood making things happen on the sideline, especially that far sideline over near Chicago's bench, rubbing it in as Dunhill and the Swarm are rolling. Chicago needs a stop. 3 receivers all to the right side. Dunhill changing the play with 8 on the clock. Back to throw, fires near side, caught by Falco. That picks up 5, and we welcome you into SFL headquarters. Cameron Irvine over, this guy, me, this is me. And that's Charles right there. And Charles Doherty here in studio, and we love bringing the cam and bonus action whenever we can here at the SFL.
And I'm wearing my new SFL broadcast
That's right.
uniform. It's a little itchy, but
it's new. You got to
Right,
put that thing
right
in the
out of
wash.
the box.
Dunhill 2nd and 5. That pass is caught. Receiver official falls over. No, they said Falco did not catch the
Wow.
pass. Another one for Falco.
That's crazy.
That could be worth another challenge.
There you
And
go.
There you go. Chisholm trying to go 2 for 2 here. And let's take another look at it. And R62 loves his airtime.
He definitely does. A lot of questionable calls so far in this first half.
All right, let's see. The first one was clear as day. How's the second one look?
Oh, definitely
Oh,
one.
definitely. I mean, at least. That should be an easy call. And Chisholm is 2 for 2. How about that?
There you go.
Charles? What a play.
Well, 62 got his airtime, so
Yeah, enough for you.
I think that's enough for the game.
Yeah, enough. That's 2 replays. We've got an offside. Enough for you. 7:55 to go in the first half here in the SFL studios at the Hive in Atlanta as well. 11 Sports Live everywhere, all around the country, around the world. 3 receivers. Dunhill going to throw. Dunhill
Wow.
caught at the 1. Waited for the route to develop, and Siege Falco is eating Jesse Vick alive.
Yeah, let's go Siege. That was a great route, and Dunhill got it right there in the bread box.
Look at that
He was
throw.
1 step away from getting his 2nd touchdown.
That's a great play, and Atlanta now 1 yard away from a score. Chicago in huge danger right now. They could fall behind 20-3 on the road. Handoff Hollywood. Oh, what a move. Touchdown Atlanta. And do you think Atlanta's upset that they gave away that game against New Orleans last week? They have come out with their hair on fire.
Yeah, they're definitely, they're showing their will on both offense and defense. Chicago hasn't had anything to answer on either side of the ball.
Eddie Gage in the chat says, wait, they're in the same room? Well, it's technology. Charles is a hologram, actually. And no, we're in the same room. We do it right here on
Trying to
Prime
figure
Time.
out what to do to look like a hologram.
I don't think there's anything you can do to look like a hologram. I guess you could maybe
I don't know.
wiggle around something. Don't do that.
You wish.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Extra point is good. And on that note, let's take a break. 21-3, Atlanta all over Chicago, but it's early. You're watching the SFL presented by APM on 11 Sports. We'll be right back. 7:28 to go in the first half. Alongside Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine, your humble crew for the evening. Chicago getting humbled right now. They lost last week, trying to avoid a 2-game losing streak after starting the season 4-0. This is Carter on the return, and he's had zero room to return the football tonight as he gets it out to the 28-yard line. Well, we're not done after tonight. Still 5 games left on the Week 6 slate, starting with tomorrow night on 11 Sports. Queen City hosts New Orleans. That was a classic last year, a very close game between those two teams. The game of the week as voted on by the fans. Carolina and Tulsa. Mike Daggs and Matt Wilson, the all-star crew, be alongside for that tomorrow night at 8:30 on 11 Sports. Along with a few other games still left on the schedule. Long bomb to Simons.
There you go.
25-20, 10-5, and down to the 1-yard line. They caught him at the 1. Simons up to 103 to eclipse Wooding's 101, and Chicago for the first time tonight has life.
Yeah, I'm not sure who made that tackle. Was it Napier on the goal line? I couldn't get the number, but that's the play that Chicago was looking for all night and came at the right time.
Blake Chance hunted down Simons from the look at the fierceness in the eyes through the dark visor. Chance all over him.
Wow, that was a questionable spot too.
I thought so too. On that
ball broke the plane.
On that replay, it looked like he got in. You're right, and no challenge. Atlanta has not been afraid of some challenges tonight, but Chicago's kept the red flag in their pocket. Hand off to Odom, and Ash Odom's going to walk in. Boy, that was way too easy. And Chicago springs to life here.
It was only a matter of time before Odom, hit him with an uppercut.
So the first touchdown of the night for Chicago, and now things are really heating up between these two squads. Well, we knew they would, as the extra point up coming from Jesus Garcia. Charles, you and I were at the SFL convention in Atlanta a few weeks ago, and we got a chance to see, I got for the second time, but you got for the first time a chance to see Shan Varner, the owner of the Chicago Wildcats, and Mark Chisholm, the owner of the Atlanta Swarm, get to meet, get to talk strategy. We saw him on Sunday during the watch party actually scouting. Everybody had their notebooks out. Yeah. They were scouting as they were watching games. These guys, the most uncommon of friends. Chisholm originally from New York, Shan Varner from Alabama, a good old boy from Alabama. Both guys have bonded through life experiences. They meet all the time. It's just an awesome bond. If you know Shan Varner, he's kind of a short, stocky, very friendly, nice guy. Mark Chisholm is kind of stoic. Charles, he's a gigantic human being. I'm kind of jealous of his sheer size because I feel like I could walk up to anybody and be Mark Chisholm and get what I want.
You don't let Shan's smile fool you. He's a tooth chipper.
That he is. 1st and 10 at the 30 as Chisholm will fling it outside, and Chisholm picks up 7. But that's what we're talking about here in the SFL. You can forge friendships out of the most unlikely of situations, and these two guys have bonded over the years. This is their 4th meeting all time. The instant classic that everyone thinks about is the season 9 semifinal that went to double overtime when Chicago hung on and went to the championship game. Neither team has been back since, but that's where these two kind of got started. Is Chisholm, or Hollywood rather, only actually lost a yard. Craze on the tackle to set up 3rd and 4.
You can tell they both put a lot of time into their playbooks and their team. It's showing on the field and on the record.
If you haven't seen the SFL convention vlog, you can see that on our YouTube channel. It's there's lots of hams, lots of lasers, and lots of Shan Varner diagramming plays on the convention floor. That pass is tipped away and incomplete. I tell you what, that's 4th down. Atlanta's got a punt for the first time tonight. And early going, Charles, if Chicago wins this game, Maurice Spurgeon is my MVP.
Yeah, he's the star on defense, clearly the star. He seems to be near every play and made that big interception and also that big tip right there on 3rd down.
So the punter is Otis Jenkins, and that reminds me of a player who stepped up in a monstrous way for Atlanta last week, Corey Mickens, who we've not mentioned He's a free safety, and he had an incredible pick six last week that helped Atlanta nearly take down the Pharaohs. But that Otis Jenkins, another one of those guys. Everybody's valuable on Atlanta. And by the way, Charles, rosters are expanding in the SFL, and starting on Wednesday.
Big news. Big news.
We should see a record for signings in a season in any given week, as tons of new users are here in Discord and joining up. Stoopy D72, Jack Attack 9105 are the newest members to our Discord server, so thanks for being here, as that pickup goes for 3 to Odom.
Yeah, hopefully on this series for the Wildcats that they maybe try one deep to Torres. We haven't heard much from him. They've tried to target him a couple times. They could only get some short gains, but he's clearly King's #1 target.
2nd down and 7 at the 31-yard line. 5 minutes to go in the first half. 3 receivers, split backs for King, and E.T. King's going long, and it's caught in double coverage by Buchanan Simons for a first down of the Swarm 48-yard line.
That was a catch of the game. That was the catch of the game. Three defenders around him, and he just went in there and fought for it and ripped it out of their hands.
Simons over $130 in the first half.
That. Wow.
And Chance and Hamrick were around him. You know, Hamrick and Hamrick and Dylan Rowland, both previous members of the Chicago Wildcats, decided to go over to Atlanta, and despite the two being best of friends, the two owners, that is Mark Chisholm, managed to get a couple of good guys from Chicago over to his squad, as Simons makes another catch for a pickup of 7. He's on a record-setting pace right now.
Definitely. Yeah, not that. So far, Carter and Torres and Varner are pretty quiet.
Chat shoutouts, Mr. 23, Pure 2K12, Eddie Gage, Brown Knights, Swole 2011. Mighty RX is around, the defending 3-time champion as well. Looking at some film as we're nearing the 2-minute warning here in the first half. 2nd and 3 at the 41 for Chicago. Handoff Odom. Odom with a lot of blockers way down the field. A 10-yard pickup for Ash Odom, and Chicago's keeping things balanced.
Great hole. The offensive line did above and beyond what they were supposed to do on that play. Look at them all downfield blocking. They're also doing a pretty decent job as far as pass security as well. Doesn't look like King's getting a lot of heat from the Atlanta side.
Hamrick on the tackle, and Joshua Williams in the chat says, Simons, geez, calm down. And somebody lit a fire under him tonight. Handoff Odom on a trap play. Odom discards. That was Joshua Williams, a pickup of 6 yards, and I don't think I've ever seen a body that large fly that fast.
And it's not too easy getting by Williams either, so that shows you what kind of power he has.
Odom is he is known for that lower body strength, that leg strength. He has been a monster. He was a monster in Queen City for many seasons. Now in his 5th season in the SFL, also played for Alaska. Handoff to Odom, got a block, then cut back inside. And near a first down, and for shame, big number, I think that was Brandon Riles, who whiffed on the block.
Yeah, they're definitely not wanting to come away from this with a field goal. They're going to do everything they can to get this first down. And Atlanta, I hate to say it again, another big 3rd down stop for them.
Back-to-back touchdowns after trailing 21-3 would be huge going into the half. Handoff Odom on a 3rd and short, got the first down, and then got a face full of bright blue as Aaron Lee makes the tackle after a pickup of about 4.
Yeah, the offensive line is having their way with the defensive line of Atlanta, so Atlanta may want to consider maybe putting another linebacker in there to maybe put some heat up there on the front line.
2:25 to go in the first half. Out of the eye, King, deep drop back. King going to the back of the end zone. It's caught. They get it. Said he got in. Touchdown, wow. Corey Carter. That may be Chisholm's 3rd challenge, trying to go 3 for 3. That was very close, but Carter in the back of the end zone for 6.
Yeah, he had 5 yards on the closest defender, and that was a close call there.
I don't think he got 1 foot in, Charles. And I'm not sure. I know that Chisholm has a 3rd challenge, but I have to admit, I'm not sure that he can use the third challenge in the first half. I think he gets a bonus for the second. But I believe the rule is that you can't use all 3 in the first half, and so
I would hurry up and snap the ball.
yeah, I'm with you, because that was probably the worst of all the sideline calls or the back end calls, and wow,
that they answered. Chicago answered up. That's what they needed to do.
2:14 to go in the first half. We'll take a quick break. Be right back. Chicago back-to-back touchdowns. It's a 4-point game. Shout-outs in the chat to Redskins Nation 66, a newcomer in there as we welcome you back to Atlanta. 21-17, Swarm on top, but their lead has been slashed from 18-4. And also, too, the newest member of our Discord server, Walt315. Welcome to the SFL. 2:10 to go in the first half.
Yeah, this exciting time to be in the SFL. Every time we go into the introductions channel, there's like 10 new people introducing themselves. This is outstanding.
And we love hearing your stories. If this is your first time watching 11 Sports, or if it's the first time you're brave enough to say something, maybe you're a little shy in our introductions channel, we'd love to know how you found us, how you watch us, and who you've been able to bond with over it in the early going. 6 catches, 6 targets, Siege Falco, and that brings up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, they've got plenty of time to put points on the board here. It's just don't make a mistake and get that ball back to Chicago, because their offense is extremely hot.
The chat debating the touchdown. And while they debate, we'll take one more quick break here in the first half. You're watching 11 Sports, or you're watching the SFL on 11 Sports. We'll be right back. Charles Doherty, Cameron Irvine, the Simulation Football League here from the Hive in Atlanta. 21-17, Swarm by 4 with a 2nd and 5 just before the half. Chicago will, as that pass complete to Walker to the 47, does Chicago get the ball to start the second half? Now I'm second guessing myself. I believe they do.
I believe they do.
That throw was so early that to Wooding, although now that I think about it, I think they got the stop on Chicago. I think Atlanta gets the ball to start the second half. Well,
I'm getting older, so I have an excuse.
We're all getting older. We're all getting older. Don't say I'm not getting older. I need an out too. 1:35 to go in the first half. Another first down for the Swarm. They've been picking them up in droves tonight. Hollywood picks up 4 yards, and for Chicago, it's got to be a little concerning. They only have 1 stop in this first half. They're definitely going to need some second half adjustments in that locker room.
You know, what we haven't seen a lot of on either side is that the famous swing pass to the halfbacks. Maybe I've seen like a handful of them all game, which is odd for me.
Yeah, they've kept it, I guess you could say, traditional in the sense that Chicago definitely likes to just run it right up the gut as
wow.
That pass from Dunhill is caught for 14 yards to boot Chisholm. I don't think Dunhill has an incompletion since the interception, perhaps, or maybe there were a couple on the sideline that were ruled incomplete. Hollywood's pass, or Hollywood's reception, rather, goes for 4, and Atlanta will burn their first time out of the half.
Yeah, couldn't get out of bounds. But Dunhill's, besides that one interception, he's really having a good game.
So for Chicago, this is critical because Atlanta is confirmed by the chat, as they always will. Atlanta gets the ball to start the second half. And so for Chicago, keeping them out of the end zone would be crucial here to continuing their comeback. Out of the eye with 2 receivers to the top side left. Dunhill going that direction. The pass is caught at the 13-yard line by Chisholm. No huddle here with 33 seconds to go. It's a race against time right now, and boy, nice job by the chain gang getting set as quickly as they did. First down to the 13-yard line. Dunhill fires near side. Pass intercepted at the 5. Has a chance to go. Got a block. Past the 30. It's Hendershot, the big linebacker, all the way down the sideline, being chased from behind. 15 down to the 12. Dunhill furious, and Clint Hendershot get the man some oxygen.
I'm speechless there. What a play there. Maybe the I'm not sure who he was. Was that to Wooding he was intending that throw to? Maybe he went too deep on the route. Dunhill was furious, and 35 there did potentially touchdown saving tackle there. Wow, unbelievable.
Great play from the fullback, Peyton Chisholm.
I need oxygen after that one.
To drag him all the way down, and now Chicago has to decide what they're going to do with it. And they're just going to take some points here, given the fact that Atlanta gets the ball to start the second half. I think Chicago, trying not to be too greedy, get some points up and get to the half in a 1-point game, which if I'm a Wildcat fan, I'm saying, man, I'll take that after falling down 21-3. 29-yard chip shot field goal is good, and Chicago doesn't play around. They wanted points. They got points. And what a ball game this has turned into in the first half when it looked like we were in store for a rout.
Yeah, definitely love these high-scoring games with both of these teams. It's going to be a fight out to the last second.
10 seconds left. What do you think, Charles? 3 timeouts they're going to take into the locker room. You think they should have tried it, or were they feeling like it was too big of a risk?
Well, the Atlanta defense has been playing so well. I don't think it's a too questionable call for them to go with the field goal.
From the 10, Walker on the return. Walker spun around at the 34. Wow, nice effort there at the back end of that play by Brett Tillis, playing linebacker on special teams. So now 5 seconds to go in a long first half here. And I would suspect they just give it to Hollywood, see what he can do.
Yeah, that definitely. No, you don't want to go into the locker room with another mistake.
Oh, Redskins Nation 66 is Greg Gaines. You learn something new every day. Dunhill going to throw a dangerous ball. And that's the end of the first half. And nearly with 1 second on the clock, they could have picked that off. Falco was 63 yards on 7 catches after 1 half of play, and what a half it was. One of the most exciting halves of the season so far. Atlanta 21, Chicago 20, and your 2K Sports halftime report is coming up next. First half numbers, these are going to be interesting. 293 to 213. Remember, both average about 445 offensive yards a game. I think the most surprising one, Charles, is BDG Hollywood has 7 rushing yards.
Yeah, it's incredible. He's not, it looks like it's been the Wooding show for most of Atlanta offense. Hopefully they'll make some adjustments at halftime here, bring Hollywood, and again, I think he needs to be the focal point of their offense if they're going to win the game.
So Dunhill right now on pace for over 550 yards. He is he's been lighting it up, and I've loved what I've seen out of the maturation of this guy. Here's a guy, Charles, that gets drafted in the first round of a draft. He joins the team, and for his first couple of seasons, at one point he was really close to actually setting an interception record in a season. He just was trying to get his legs under him. To go from almost setting a record, as you see his best play of the first half right here after shedding those 2 tacklers, from going to possibly setting an interception record to only having 6 picks this year to 12 touchdowns and is one of the most efficient and electric quarterbacks in the SFL. You just got to love that. And it just goes to show you that if you join the league and you get started and your player is not too good out of the gates, that can all change in a snap of a finger.
Definitely, and it also reminds me of the Hall of Fame speech of Ray Bentley when he was starting out as a running back. Now, he's a Hall of Fame running back. You have some bad plays, you have some bad seasons, but you got to stay in there. And definitely Dunhill, he's a smart quarterback. There's no quit in him, and he has a short memory. I mean, you have to as a quarterback. You make mistakes. It's what he thinks about coming up next and following the game plan and executing.
Craze leads the way with 5 tackles, but that, my friends, was the biggest play of the first half. Clint Hendershot gets Chicago another 3 points on the board. I think if Hendershot would have returned that for a touchdown, that would have been the longest touchdown return by a linebacker in league history. You don't see that many long returns by a linebacker in this league.
Yep. He's probably still on the oxygen mask in the locker room. Wow. I was tired just watching.
And the sad reality for Hollywood, or I'm sorry, for Hendershot, is that he's going to have to come back out of the locker room and play defense to start.
Yeah, definitely. We saw a couple touchdown-saving tackles today.
Alongside Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine. This is the Simulation Football League on the 11 Sports Network all across the great land. And what a ball game we have. Both of these teams were unbeaten going into last week before Atlanta ran into New Orleans on a rough, was that Tuesday? Very short week for Atlanta. They've had 5 days to prepare for the game. But Atlanta, a nail-biter against New Orleans, 33-31. And then Chicago came up very, very short against Tallahassee, and I don't know what it is about the pride, but they have Chicago's number.
Yeah, and that was the only team that Chicago's played with a winning record. So I know they want to come out of here and show the league that they're in the hunt for the playoffs.
1st and 10 at the 27. Dunhill taking a deep drop back. Start the second half like you started the first. Falco shedding a defender and running out of bounds and greeting teammates to move the chains at the 42-yard line.
I think that's what they're going to need to do in the second half. They're, maybe cut down the pass routes in the middle, keep them on the sidelines, making use of Dunhill's cannon arm, and bring BDG back into the game plan.
Yeah, I'm really stunned, especially with Hollywood, at just how little they've used him. Now, with that being said, the rush defense for Chicago is always a force. They are 5th in run defense this season, giving up just 74.6 yards per game. 2 backs and 2 receivers. Hand off to Hollywood. Hollywood trying to turn the corner, and Barnes chases him from behind. It's not often, Charles, that you see a team, as you see Hollywood now, 10 yards on 5 carries. It's not often that you see a team be top 5 consistent at something over the lifetime of a franchise. But I think the Wildcats have been top 5 in run defense for as long as I can remember.
Yeah, they're great on the line for run defense, but they have a great secondary as well for pass defense. So they've got pretty much everything covered.
2nd and 7 at the 46. Dunhill with an empty set. Fires it out to Falco again. Falco, that should be a first down. What is going on? The officiating crew tonight is not ready for prime time. That may be Chisholm's 3rd challenge.
Definitely. Because
didn't you see him put the ball right over the stick?
He had 1 foot over the line as well, it looked like.
No challenge. Chisholm probably, and I get why he didn't challenge, because he's got to hold on to that 3rd challenge.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
That he awarded, especially on a night like tonight. Looks like he's going to need it down the stretch. 3rd and inches. We'll see if it pays off for Chicago to get a stop. They're going to throw it to Hollywood, and Hollywood got the first down and then got his head ripped off by Jesse Vick. That was scary, though, Charles.
Yeah, it looked like Blake Craze had it all wired up there when Hollywood caught the ball. But, again, Hollywood's elusive. When he gets that ball there on the swing pass, he's hard to bring down.
9 receptions for 85 yards for Falco. 3 receivers, 2 off the left side, short side left for Dunhill. Nickel look for Chicago. Both teams have run a lot of nickel tonight. Outside Hollywood. Hollywood's got no blockers out there. Going to have to do it himself. Gaines makes up for the broken tackle on Hendershot, and it's a 3-yard gain for BDG.
That's what we need to see from Atlanta. To keep the Chicago defense honest, bring them up to the line, and maybe throw one long down the field.
The chat is loving the game, loving the competition. You can join the chat at twitch.tv/11sports next on any device you choose. 2nd and 7, handoff to Hollywood. He's smashed by Blake Craze. And this is why the Swarm have been throwing tonight. You just can't run on Chicago.
No, you definitely can't, and especially against Blake Craze. Especially in the middle, you have a shot maybe going outside on those swing passes or a run around the tackle, but not too often going up against Craze.
By the way, the number 1 rush defense coming into the day, 41.8 yards allowed. That's Houston, and they held Swearingen today, the league's second leading rusher. Oh, Dunhill dropped the ball. It's still loose,
oh my gosh.
It's picked up by a big defensive lineman, and Chicago's got a turnover. Dunhill got popped and lost the ball. That is incredibly rare to see, and Chicago's comeback continues.
Very bad play for O'Malley. I hope I'm saying that name right, because he's just standing there downfield, and when the ball hits the ground, everybody's got to scream fumble. He needed to turn around and get on top of that. He had a shot at it, but 71 there was just picked it up and got the ball over for Chicago.
Donnie Odom forced the fumble. Kevin Owens recovers the fumble for Chicago, and the chat is losing their mind over that play. Atlanta, fresh off of feeling like they gave away a game 5 days ago, now starting to have some deja vu here with 8:08 to go in the third. Wildcats were down 21-3. Early in the second quarter. It wasn't that long ago. Simon stays in bounds and picks up 6 yards. He's got 8 catches tonight.
He's having a great game. Back to the previous play. If your man's got you that beat and has a beeline to your quarterback, sometimes it's okay to maybe hold a little bit. take the flag and save your quarterback.
I feel bad for Kevin O'Malley, as you were referencing earlier. He's getting some serious heat in the stadium right now. That was the offensive lineman for Atlanta who basically just acted like he had no idea what was going on, and it leads to a 3rd and 2 in scoring position for Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago's got to keep this going. But Atlanta is, they're on their heels and they have to strike now.
3 receivers, and Odom in the backfield. This is the first 3rd and short I think Chicago's had all day. King hands it off to Odom right up the middle. Odom's got a first down, although he paid for it. What a big hit by Jack Napier, and boy, I didn't think Odom was going to get up.
I didn't think Odom was going to make it to the line, quite honestly. But again, it shows you the ability of Odom as well as the offensive line. They're just doing a stupendous job blocking.
6:48 to go in the third quarter. 21-20 Atlanta on top of Chicago. Wildcats driving. Odom hurdled the defender and then gets another hit from Jack Napier that he wished he didn't.
Yeah, I think the momentum's clearly shifted over to Chicago. It looks like they've got a little bit more energy up there on the line, and they're taking advantage on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, they've been able to find balance, too, offensively, and that's been a key tonight as King, with 176 yards, I would imagine that Odom, at this point, is approaching triple digits. Out of the gun for King. Back to throw. King going on long touchdown rope. And it's J.C. Torres, and the Wildcats have come from 18 points back and have the lead.
What a great play. They caught him napping on defense. They probably thought it was going to be a swing pass or a run, and they found Torres deep in the end zone, making it his 3rd touchdown of the season.
J.C. Torres, 5th in the league in receiving, 548 yards. It's been Buchanan Simon's night tonight, but Torres able to find the end zone. Chicago not going to chase points. They could have gone for 2 there to go up 7, but instead they'll kick the extra point and try to go up 6. Folks, this game was 21-3 just a moment ago. Now it's 21-27. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports, presented by APM Music. What a game here on 11 Sports. If this is your first time watching the SFL or your 300th time watching the SFL, we're glad you're here, as Walker will return up from the 10-yard line past the 25, just barely to the 26-yard line. Some pushing and shoving out there. And Charles, now's the time to chat about the chat and chat about joining the league and getting on the field. That's kind of where everything starts in this league, just getting on the field, getting your feet wet. And I mean, how many different players have made amazing plays tonight? Probably 30 plus at this point.
Yeah, the best part, I think, of being in this league, being in the field, but also in the locker room too. It's great to talk to your other players, learn about them, make friends, and everybody's very open and helpful in this league. So if you have any questions, we're here to help.
Hollywood picks up 2. Craze now has 7 tackles, and my question to you, Charles, is it looks like coming out of the locker room, Atlanta has tried to establish a run game. They've given it a more concerted effort, but it hasn't necessarily paid off for them. The question is, when do you abandon it and go back to Dunhill slinging it? We'll get your answer after this play. 2nd and 8. Dunhill changing the play to a pass. Dunhill quickly outside to give him a more manageable 3rd down, and that one is called a catch for Falco to pick up 6.
Okay. Well, to answer your question, I think you keep Hollywood in the game plan, even if he's not knocking out 5 yards per carry. You got to keep him in there because it keeps the defense guessing, and that can open up a pass downfield.
3rd down and 2. 2 in the backfield. Wildcats continue running this nickel. And Dunhill going to throw. Wooding goes out in the pattern. That pass is caught by Falco coming on a crosser. 1st down to the 41-yard line, and Falco continues his impressive night, nearing double-digit receptions.
Yeah, nice play there to get that 1st down. Dunhill, he's made a couple mistakes today, but he's hanging in there. He forgets the mistakes he makes, and he's ready to look forward. And you can see on that play, well executed. He got the ball out quick. Maybe he heard a little footsteps, but he's a veteran now, and he isn't making the same mistakes he made last season.
Atlanta moves the chains on 3rd down. 1st down for Dunhill going long. Marcus Dunhill's pass is caught over the top of the defense. He took it right off his helmet. Wooding with another tremendous catch.
Wooding is the offensive star so far for Atlanta. Wow. You can just see the strength and dedication on that play there to get that ball out of the defender's hands.
Oh, he ripped it right in between his hands. Jesse Vick probably thought he got possessed by a ghost. Unbelievable. I mean, that went right through Vick's hands.
Definitely. Yeah, he's going to be thinking about that in bed tonight.
Right over his helmet, and Wooding makes the play. 1st down to the Wildcat 36-yard line. Here comes Atlanta. Handoff Hollywood running left. Hollywood breaks a tackle. Hollywood 30. Hollywood 20, 15, 10, 5. Hollywood, wow. Touchdown. Atlanta, we're tied.
There you go. I think you got to keep giving that man the ball because he gets in the end zone. What an effort.
More yards on that play than he's had all night long against Chicago's defense. And the extra point will put Atlanta back in front. And back and forth we go. We're getting the shootout that we were promised.
Yeah, this is going to go down to the last second. Hold on tight, fellas.
And ladies.
And ladies. That was a generic use of the word. Sorry.
4:12 left. Tie game. All at 27. Back and forth we go. Atlanta finally answers after giving up the 21-3. Extra point nearly blocked, but the extra point is good. 28-27. And my, oh my, do we have a ball game. We'll be back to Atlanta in just a moment. You're watching the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Stay tuned. Coming into the night, In the previous 4 games of the SFL here in Week 6, no team scored over 27. Atlanta's the first to do so, and Chicago has 27. And we still have a quarter and some change to go as Carter returns it up to the 30-yard line. And now, if you're Atlanta's defense, Charles, what do you got to do? Somebody cover Buchanan Simons.
Yeah, cover Buchanan Simons and maybe put a little extra pressure on King.
E.T. King, number 1 in the league in passing yards. He has delivered in prime time and is now well over 2,000 yards on the season. The halfway point of the season for Chicago. As with 4:08 to go in the third, he's going to hand it off to Odom. And Odom got pummeled into the teeth of the Atlanta defense. That was Greg Julian on the stop.
Yeah, big tackle by Julian. They got a second and 7, 3 yards. You can't be too upset letting Odom get 3. I mean, he normally nails out 5 or 6.
DR Sim says this game doesn't affect me in any way, but yet I'm over here shaking as if I'm a part of this game. That's what the SFL does to you, and I couldn't agree more. Every time we go to commercial break, Charles and I just sit here and we're just moving around. We're very antsy. We have no idea how this is going to play out because these two teams have been so evenly matched. Third down.
Yeah, that was a big tackle on that last play. You could see the swarm to the ball on that one.
3rd and 6 at the 35. King going to throw short of the sticks. Carter 1 yard short.
No.
And Atlanta gets the stop as Carter meets Chisholm on the sideline. And I didn't see any evidence there that he did get the first down, Charles, and I think Atlanta got the stop.
Big stop. I mean, this is like a prize fight match, man. Hits going back and forth. Just when you think one guy's going down, they get up and do a counter punch.
3 minutes left. Clock resumes running off the break of the huddle on out-of-bounds plays. Unless we're inside 5 minutes to go in the second half, 2 minutes to go in the first half. This is Walker on the return from the 24-yard line. Has some space. Oh, nice little move there. Picked up 5 on the return out of the 29-yard line. And actually, I don't think that was Walker that time. May have been getting a breath. And back out comes Marcus Dunhill after Hollywood got him in the end zone on the last drive.
Yep, Hollywood, he put it on his shoulders. Let's see if they can use that same play again.
2:45 to go in the third. And Dunhill going to throw. Boy, that was not an easy throw. That was a long way away. Falco now with 12 receptions for 103 yards, and Wooding is saying, hey, I only needed 3 to get to 124.
It looks like Falco's holding his hip a little bit there. I think he might have got a little stinger.
240. We'll monitor Falco as he working it out there on the sideline. He's at the bottom of the screen, defended by Vick. Chisholm at the top of the screen, defended by Gaines. 7 in the box for Chicago. Wooding is off the line left. Back to pass. Dunhill going near side again. Falco has been, he's made an adjustment, Charles, to this out route. He's done a lot better of a job sans first quarter of keeping his wits about him on the sidelines.
Well, and maybe maybe Dunhill and Falco had a little sideline discussion and got their act together, and it's showing on the field.
They probably said, with this crew, we just can't chance it.
Yeah,
we've got to make sure we're absolutely inbounds every time.
Cam doesn't miss a thing.
I don't?
No.
Oh, well, I don't know. It's just an observation. I guess it was a good one. Dunhill deep ball down the field.
Wow.
Caught at the 37-yard line. That's Chisholm for a first down. And God, boy, now I'm scared I'm going to miss something. Now you're in my head.
No, I'm not in your head. That was Chisholm was quiet for a while. They were it was the Falco show there, and maybe they started creeping up there on Falco and weren't paying attention to Wooding.
DR Sim says 13 catches for Siege Falco. I'm so jealous. Of course, DR Sim, wide receiver Houston, also owns the team. Hollywood in trouble, and that was just a big push on the outside by Chicago's line, and then Jeremy Lane cleaned it up. Hollywood up to 42 yards, most of that coming on that last touchdown run.
Yeah, they were waiting for the run there, and like we said before, it's hard to run against this team, but I still think you need to keep doing it.
Empty, 4 wide for Dunhill. I think the last time they went in empty, he lost it on that fumble. And Dunhill over the middle of the field. Wooding took a shot, but Wooding, boy, I tell you what, you got to be a trooper to go over the middle. And A.J. Barnes, old school football style, lays him out on the 29.
He took him. It was ankles up in the air on that one. Wow, what a hit.
Somebody's going to have to put some more pellets into that turf down there.
Yeah.
Because there's a hole there. Somebody's got to fill that thing.
That hurt me.
3rd and 2 at the 29-yard line for Dunhill. They've converted a bunch of third down and shorts in this game. Handoff Hollywood. Oh, Hollywood broke a tackle to get the first down. And Hendershot, who had the big interception just before the end of the first half, has not had Hollywood's number tonight. Hollywood's put him on the floor a few times tonight.
He does it, on first down, second down, they get him. But when it comes to the big play and they really need to get the first down, Hollywood takes that extra energy, that extra bit of strength, and is able to power through. 1st
and 10 at the 26. Handoff Hollywood again running right, and Hollywood takes a licking at the line of scrimmage from Barnes, and that's going to end the third quarter. These two teams, you think they want it? Well, if you don't believe them, they're proving it to you right now. End of the third, Atlanta 28, Chicago 27. This is the Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. The Simulation Football League, presented by APM Music, is brought to you in part by Nation's Best, helping high school, college, and pro athletes around the country. Help #Secure the Bag. By ScoreStream, the official live scoring app of the Simulation Football League. By Sector 6, official merchandise partner of the SFL. And brought to you by Spygoat, the sound choice. The beautiful Atlanta. I remember traveling those highways for the convention, and aerial shots are provided by AirViews all season long. Visit airviews.com.
Yeah, those cars on the highway are really going fast. I don't know if they speeded up the video.
Oh, no. We definitely sped up the video. We don't have time for Atlanta traffic.
Like Indy 500 down there.
Oh, yeah. No, that was definitely sped up. Some alternate universe where the speed limit is 250 miles an hour. Boy, I wish. 2nd and 10. At the 26 for Atlanta, up 1 in scoring position. And that pass by Dunhill is going to be caught to set up another third down. Both defenses all night, as you look at the ridiculous quarterback numbers. Dunhill, 399 now here tonight. But both of these defenses, despite giving up a bunch of points, have made these teams work for it. A ton of third downs tonight.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, both, all teams out there, special teams, offense, defense, they're really playing their heart out. This is a great game to watch.
3rd and 5 of the 21. Straight back. Dunhill fires. Caught Falco. First down to the 8. 14 catches for Siege Falco tonight, and another Atlanta first down.
Another great throw by Dunhill. He had plenty of time in the pocket, great protection up front. Got rid of the ball quickly into Falco's hands, and I think Falco probably saying, hey, throw it to me again. I want to get another touchdown.
8 yards away from pay dirt. Just to recap, if you're just joining us, Atlanta was up 21-3. Chicago went on a wild run. No pun intended to Wildcats. They scored 24 straight points, went up 27-21. Then Atlanta got a touchdown to take the lead, and now they're looking for more.
BDG.
Hollywood on a swing, and BDG,
wow.
oh man,
my gosh.
Down to the 1 yard line.
That was a questionable spot.
Another questionable spot as we get possibly another look at it. No, I don't think we are. Wow.
A lot of effort there. Wasn't able to punch it in, but this is a battle. Quite the battle.
Oh, man, Marcus Dunhill in the chat. Speed limits are a sore subject for Cam. That ain't right. Dunhill looking around. He's going to be sacked. A loss of 7 yards on the play as Chicago gets some pressure on him, and that was Aaron Chubb in the backfield along with Donnie Odom, who's made plenty of play tonight.
The Chicago secondary just had every man covered. Dunhill didn't have anyone to throw it to.
That backs up the Swarm. 3rd and goal at the 8. Either way, it's still a one-score possession no matter what happens on this play. 9 minutes to go in the 4th. 4 receivers, 3 to the left side. Dunhill going to throw near side. Got to turn the corner, and Chisholm fell over at the 2. 5th catch on all 5 targets, but Chisholm was, I don't know if he went to turn around and got the turf monster or what, but tough break for Boo, and Atlanta will have to settle for 3.
Yeah, he's going to be kicking himself. He could have got in that end zone, maybe 1 or 2 steps more on that route.
A 19-yard chip shot coming for the Swarm. And the snap is great, the hold is great, and the kick is good. 31-27, Atlanta holding on to that slim margin, and we welcome you to watch more SFL action. We resume play tomorrow night, 6 Central, 7 Eastern on 11 Sports. Starts a doubleheader, New Orleans, Queen City, then Carolina, Tulsa. Matt Wilson and Mike Daggs will be in Tulsa for the You Vote Fan Night Game of the Week. And that's where all of our community actually votes. And Carolina and Tulsa, not the 2 best records in the league, but the SFL community wanted to see a couple of teams that are a little bit desperate in primetime tomorrow night, and that's what they're going to get.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun game. I think that Chicago's going to need to answer back here. We did see Torres break out that touchdown on the previous series. Hopefully they'll go to him again.
8:34 to go in the 4th. 1 receiver and 2 in the backfield. I don't think we've seen this formation once tonight at Chicago. Hand off to Odom. Odom didn't get much. Atlanta was not fooled by the uniqueness of the formation as Williams makes the stop.
Yeah, big stop there for against Ash Odom. I think they're going to keep trying to use Odom maybe on the outside, maybe keep that defense honest.
4 receivers, King out of the gun. Surprised that King has been dominated in terms of passing yards by Dunhill tonight, but that has been the storyline. King flips it out quickly to Odom. I don't think Odom was expecting the ball that fast. He nearly could not come down with it, and he picked up just 3 and another tremendous tackle made by Hamrick.
Yeah, 3rd and 6. That was he wasn't expecting. It didn't have time to get into that route there, so didn't put him in a good position there, and the defense was waiting for him.
3rd down again, and 6 this time for the Wildcats. Atlanta up 4, trying to improve to 4-1. King to throw. King, deep shot down the field, intercepted to the 47-yard line. And back on the return is Hamrick again against his former team. And Atlanta is starting to move the needle once again.
A big play by Hamrick. It just shut down Chicago. Now they get the ball back. They're up by 4. They can control this game if they're able to put some more points on the board.
Looking for Varner in double coverage, and that brings us to a point of contention here tonight that where has Shan Varner been? I don't think he has a catch.
No, I don't
And
think
you
he's
can
been
see
targeted
why.
except for that one play.
You could see why after that play. 11 carries, 45 yards for Hollywood. He's slowly but surely started to get things moving in the right direction in the second half, but it has been Dunhill's leadership tonight that's kept the Swarm in the lead. That pass is caught by Falco again. His 15th catch, picks up 9.
Yeah, he's the king of the sidelines tonight. He's catching that ball right before he goes out of bounds. That's great. Oh well.
And now
let's see.
Boy, I tell you, I think Shan just wanted to see some more R62. I think that's all that was. R62, if you're new to the SFL, lives on in infamy, as he and his crew has had a number of terrible calls over the course of SFL history.
Yeah, that was a foot.
Yeah, that was a foot. I think Shan's going to lose this challenge. And that'll technically be 3 for 3 for Mark Chisholm.
Is there a record for the most challenges in
Oh,
the game?
they
Oh my
overturned the
gosh.
call.
Wow.
Well,
Maybe he didn't have control of the ball. Maybe I have no
record
idea.
for challenges. I think it's 4. I don't think there's ever been a game where a team has used a bonus challenge and the other team has challenged 2 as well, but I could be mistaken. I definitely know there haven't been
Seems
6.
like there's a lot tonight.
Yeah, there's been a lot of challenges tonight. 7:23 to, and a lot of plays that should have been challenged.
Definitely.
7:23 to go in the 4th. Second down. That pass is dropped.
Wow.
No good. I was looking for the ball there. Falco was the intended target. Barnes makes a heady play, and that is a rare incompletion from Marcus Dunhill tonight.
Yeah, it also looks like the defensive line is starting to possibly wear down that offensive line on the Swarm. They almost got to the quarterback there, and maybe he heard some feet coming.
7:19 left. This is just about the time, Charles, where everyone starts to get a little tense because anything can happen. Anything can go wrong, go right, that changes the game right here. 3rd and 10 at the 46-yard line. 7:19 to go in the 4th quarter. 31-27. Atlanta on top of Chicago. This pass on a slant route caught by Walker short of the first down. And Chicago holds, and they'll get it back.
Big play by the Chicago defense. They did what they needed to do. Now they got to hand it off to the offense, and they're going to have to go down and score on this play because time here is starting to get pretty tight.
Charles Doherty is to my right. I'm Cameron Irvine. I didn't even tell him I was going to bring him back. Sorry, I caught him by surprise there. But that's what the Internet's all about.
Make up.
Blam. You know what? If anybody needed a makeup crew, it would probably be us. And so somebody's got to put some money in the budget for that. But he's Charles. I'm Cam. This is what is known as the Cam. As a great punt by Atlanta. Pins E.T. King back at his own 6-yard line. It's getting tense. 6:44 to go in the 4th quarter. This is the first, what I would call, interactive esport league anywhere out there. First controllerless, first football league to really be established, and the first interactive one as well. Players, coaches, fans, owners, you name it, they are watching and they are in the chat, and you can get involved today by visiting simulationfl.net. Click the Discord icon and join the community. Cam Charles King. That doesn't exactly
Doesn't flow
roll
off
the
the
tongue.
tongue.
Yeah, but we'll work on it. We'll figure something out. There's Varner, first
Wow.
catch of the night, picks up 2 to set up a 3rd down and 3. That'll roll some clock. And if I'm the Wildcats, I might be thinking this might be the last time I get the ball. I don't know what's going to happen tonight, but I can't, I can't, if I'm the Wildcats, risk giving it back to Atlanta.
So you mean go for it on 4th? If they
Well,
don't
no. I'm just saying that they probably should be in a little bit of a hurry.
Sense of urgency.
Yeah, I would say
Gotcha.
so.
Gotcha.
5, just the way that these offenses have had long drives tonight. You never know.
Wow.
Odom on
Big
3rd
stop.
down.
Big stop.
is not going to get the first, and now they got to punt it away, and that's another reason
That's
why.
Swale up there that brought him down.
Yeah, and Williams
Wow.
makes the play, but that's another reason why you want to have a sense of urgency at the time like this, because
That was a huge stop.
The sooner you punt, the sooner you can get the ball back. But your defense has to hold. I agree, Charles. Big stop. That's going to flip the field position in Atlanta's favor. Klars Cam. Oh, that's an interesting suggestion. Alienation 77. I don't know if Charles' abbreviation is Klars. That's a first for me.
I don't know. Yeah.
Keep them coming in the chat.
Thanks for the input.
You don't sound very excited.
No, I appreciate him.
Cham Cam. Cham Cam? Where does the M come from? You don't have an M in your name. Where's the
I don't know.
Oh, maybe from the.
I have no idea.
I don't know. We probably should focus on the game.
I know.
5:11 to go in the fourth quarter. 31-27 Atlanta. Sometimes the chat
at that
just too.
throw.
Oh, it's
Oh my
almost
gosh.
picked off.
Wow.
Blake Craze stick to
Wow.
tackling, I guess. Falco, 15 receptions, 17 targets. And
That was like he was lofting a potato.
yeah, that was
an odd throw.
If there was the most brilliant throw of the night, which was his throw in the first half when he eluded the two defenders, that was probably
that
the
could have been
exact
bad.
opposite of
yeah,
that.
and it stopped the clock too. So
5:08 to go in the fourth. Atlanta holding on to a slim 4-point margin. Hollywood's in the backfield and throws. He gets the toss out to him from Dunhill. No gain. 3rd down and 10. Look at all the Wildcats on the screen. I mean, they have been ready for that pretty much all night, except for that tiny bit of time earlier in the game when Hollywood was really effective on that sideline.
yeah, both defenses have been swarming to the ball. It's been impressive. Very fun to watch.
3rd and 10, where we were hoping to get the cam or whatever you'd like to call it on the screen for some big incredible play, but it hasn't happened just yet. 3rd down and 10. Oh, he's in trouble.
Wow.
Dunhill goes down.
That's
Held
a big
onto the
stop,
ball
too.
this time, but you're right. Big stop, Charles.
Sorry, I'm talking over you.
Oh, you're right.
You
we're
might
just
see the
excited
first
here.
smack on Commissioner smacks the broadcast.
I don't think that's. I don't think the FTC would. I don't think that falls under.
My head's so big it won't fit in the camera.
Well, I think that's kind of our studio's too
Look at
small.
that.
Not
Look at that grape. It's a big grape. Wow. No, just the defense. It was a high-scoring game coming up here to the fourth quarter. Now it looks like the defense is starting to lock down both offenses.
And Chicago blocks the punt, and they
Oh!
recover it, and Chicago's going all the way, and the Wildcats take the lead on a block punt.
Oh
I
my
can't believe
gosh.
it.
Oh my gosh.
Punt rejected by number 31, Perry Elmore. And actually, he was the one that recovered the fumble. But who was it that actually blocked the kick? That was 23, Brandon
Wow.
Vesey.
Unbelievable. What
And
a play.
the Wildcats have taken the lead on a block punt. I have seen everything.
I'm going to be exhausted after this game. Unbelievable.
Holy
What a play.
moly.
What a play. There's no quit in Chicago, man. I'm telling you.
3:57 to go in the fourth quarter. Let's all take a breath
Yep.
as the Wildcats have taken the lead on a block punt. I keep saying it over and over and over. I just cannot believe it. As the Wildcats' extra point is up and good, and it's 34-31, and we're going to take a break. We've all got to catch our breath. 3:57 to go in the fourth. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports. 3:57 left to go in the fourth quarter. Alongside Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine. This is the SFL on 11 Sports, and we have had one of the most wild SFL games in league history tonight as Walker returns it up to the 28-yard line. And I cannot believe, Charles, that after all this, after all that we've seen tonight out of Atlanta, that they're losing this game. They lost last week 33-31. This is 34-31, and it's happened. Remember, last week, Aaron Arrington had a special teams kickoff return for a touchdown, and now another special teams touchdown, this time on a block punt for Chicago, could be the death of the Wildcats as Dunhill fires it outside to BDG Hollywood, and he picks up 6 to the 34.
Yeah, that's what they should have been doing on the last series. The BDG was quiet on that last series. If they would have just ran it to him and done those swing passes, burn up some clock.
Look at the chat from the touchdown. It is blown up here on the Twitch channel. This has been a remarkable football game here tonight. 3:23 to go in the fourth quarter. 2nd and 4 at the 34-yard line. Handoff goes to Hollywood. Hollywood gets a block, and Hollywood is stopped short of the first down.
Yeah, they're only down by 3, so their heads in the game, and they're focused on getting there to the scoreboard.
3 minutes and counting. This could be it here for Atlanta. They need something big to happen. Hollywood's out of the backfield. We've seen him throw to him out of this formation. That's what they're doing.
Got to do it.
And he's got tons of space. Going to easily pick up the first down out of the 44-yard line. That is just too easy. Chicago playing way back.
Yeah, they were expecting something else. Not that swing pass, I can tell you.
Swole 2011 says, I don't even know what to say. This is Hunter Jones coming in. He had his first 100-yard game of the season tonight. Says, kind of sad I'm only catching it from mid-third because it sounds like it's been fun all night, and that it has. Chicago was at one point down 21-3. They're now back in the lead. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line as Dunhill fires it outside. That pass is incomplete. Pass intended for Falco.
Yeah, that was that pass looked a little off there. I don't know. Maybe it was the angle I was watching it from here, but didn't look like he had both his feet set when he threw that ball.
2:46 left. Dunhill is manning and commanding the offense, and this crowd has gone pretty quiet. They a little stunned right now and very nervous. That pass off the top of the helmet.
Can't throw in the middle like that.
And incomplete. Looking for Wooding. Here's another look at it.
So dangerous, so dangerous. I mean, they've been burned doing that before. And you have Falco killing them on the sidelines, and Hollywood, getting good yards per attempt on both in the air and on the ground. So, not sure why they're throwing it down the middle like that.
That hit Craze in the helmet, and then Hendershot almost got his second interception of the night.
Yeah, they look like a bunch of piranhas swimming around when that ball went up in the air.
3rd and 10 with 2:42 to go in the fourth quarter. 4 receivers, 3 to the left side. Empty look for Dunhill. He needs the Chicago 46.5-yard line. And an unblocked man brings him down for a loss of 8. And I tell you what, man, it has been Donnie Odom's night. That is his 3rd sack.
Defense and special teams have taken over the latter part of this fourth quarter. Right there. He looked like he was untouched right up the middle.
Yeah, the empty has been tough tonight for Atlanta because they just haven't been able to get any protection. Chicago's defensive front has won the battle, and now it's up to Atlanta's defense. And they are in some serious trouble of blowing an 18-point lead at home as Carter, out to the 31-yard line. Carter getting a breather, and that's Freeney returning the punt inexplicably. 2:10 to go in the fourth quarter, and now King, with a couple of first downs, could end this thing.
Definitely. They just need to be conservative and keep that clock running.
First down at the 31-yard line. 3 in the backfield. Torres is at the top of the screen. King hands it off to Odom, and Odom only picked up a yard. And that will take us to the 10-minute warning. Atlanta protecting all 3 timeouts. How's this one going to end Find out when we come back. This is the Simulation Football League presented by APN Music on 11 Sports. Two minutes is all we have here tonight left, unless we go to overtime, of course, Charles. And
Definitely.
Atlanta's down 3. It's certainly on the table. They're going 3 backs in the backfield, they being Chicago, trying to put this game on ice. 1, maybe 2 first downs would do it. The handoff goes to Odom. Odom gets caught behind a blocker and only got 1. Atlanta's going to burn a timeout. And given the fact, Charles, that E.T. King's the league's #1 passer, on 3rd down and 9, I'd throw it. I'd take my chances here. What would you do?
I'd run it. I mean, that the Chicago's defense for the last couple series have been playing out of their mind, and you got to show confidence in the defense. If you put them out there, if they do have to punt, they can stop them.
3 in the backfield, 2 to the left side. King out of the gun. In the nickel, E.T. King going long down the field, and it's caught! To the Atlanta 39, Corey Carter. I didn't even see a receiver out there, and that may be ball game.
That may be the dagger right there. He snuck in there beyond the secondary, and King just got that ball over the defenders.
Oh man!
Shoulder pads.
What an absolute dime over the head of Blake Chance. And Corey Carter's been pretty quiet tonight, but if that's the only ball he catches, that's the only one that matters. He did catch the touchdown, too, earlier.
He might get another ball in the locker room after that.
Torres is at the bottom of the screen. The handoff goes to Odom. And now Atlanta's just playing math game here as Chicago has come on the road and really, stunned. Absolutely stunned Atlanta. The Wildcats are poised to be going to 5-1. At the halfway point of the season. Didn't make the playoffs last year. Lost out on a strength of schedule tiebreaker loss. And now E.T. King is going to take knees. And that's going to leave about 23 seconds left on the clock for Atlanta. Now I think the idea is pin them deep.
Yep.
Because they need 3 points to tie, and they have no timeouts. Bleed them dry, right? But
definitely bleed them dry.
Still a bit risky here for King and the Wildcats because they're basically putting themselves out of field goal range, although I think with a 3-point game right now, I don't think you'd even risk a long field goal, giving them great field position.
Yeah, definitely not that.
So on a 3rd down and 8, King going to take one more knee.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And Atlanta's going to get one last shot.
Yeah, let's see if they can pin it there on the goal line. Haven't seen a lot of punting tonight, so
no,
they may not have a lot of practice.
Shout out to RX139, the newest member of our Discord server. Atlanta is going to run this all the way down. 35 seconds and counting. Chicago needs a punt inside the 5. This would be a victory for the Swarm if they can get this at the 20. Punt by Perrin. It's going to bounce at the 10. Oh, what a great bounce for Perrin.
That's what you needed to do.
Rolls all the way down, and look how much time it burned off the clock, too. You got to call for a fair catch at the 10-yard line.
Definitely.
Atlanta wasted about 4 seconds watching the ball roll.
Yeah. that was picture perfect what you needed to do on special teams for Chicago. Now Atlanta's in quite the hole.
NFL boy in the chat saying this has been a great game. Couldn't agree more. SimulationFL.net is the website. This is our last of 4 games on the network today. Dunhill with no timeouts, going long, and that pass is incomplete. And I wouldn't blame Dunhill for trying to force the action right now. It's all or nothing, and I don't think it's even possible for them to kick a field goal at this point, given their field position, because even if they were to throw a long bomb, I don't think they get down the field in time to spike it.
Unless they get out of bounds.
Unless they, that's right. Unless they get out of bounds. Great point. They need some sort of corner or fade or something down the sideline. 15 seconds left. 2nd and 10 at the 5. And Dunhill fires it outside to Hollywood, and that's trouble. They got to hurry up and spike it. 6, 5,
hurry up.
4. Oh, Atlanta.
Come on.
2 seconds.
Spike
1.
it.
Wow. Oh, my goodness gracious. That just, I felt my heart saying, stop it, stop.
Oh, my Lord.
Wow. 1 second left. Atlanta trying to avoid a 2-game losing streak, both in gut-wrenching fashion, and Chicago's trying to win a game on a blocked punt, return for a touchdown. I think that may be the first time ever an SFL game has been won on a blocked punt, return for a touchdown. This is it. Atlanta needs 92 yards. Dunhill with 4 wide. Gonna throw. Oh, it slants. That's trouble. Yeah. That's a tackle, and that's the ball game. The Chicago Wildcats coming on the road, down 21-3 in the first half, and they improve to 5-1 with a 34-31 victory. Wow, let's catch our breath as Chicago wins a game despite having 212 less yards of offense.
Unbelievable. This is a great game to watch. I'm exhausted. I'm like, it was the Chicago defense and the Chicago special teams took over the game when they needed to in the late 4th quarter. It was a boxing match going up, a prize fight going up until mid-4th quarter, and then the defense took over. Special teams made that big play, and here we have Chicago coming down from a major deficit to win the game.
Who do you give player of the game to? Simons?
Is Beasley the one who blocked that punt?
Beasley, yeah. Beasley blocked the punt,
but it's not
and Elmore scored.
Yeah. That was the play that gave me my mind.
Well, and then when you combine that, think about Hendershot's play at the end of the first half that got him the 3 points. They decided to take the 3 points.
Yep.
When everyone's saying, oh my gosh, you're kicking a field goal right now. What happens if they would have thrown a pick on that play?
Right.
And here it is again. Wow.
Look at that.
And then the hustle to go and pick it up.
Yeah.
That was one of the you're never going to see another play like that again.
Yeah, I'd give it to both of them. I'd give it to VZ and Elmore.
Wow. I'm stunned. Feel for Atlanta. Obviously, Atlanta now, you could probably consider, Charles, the best 3-2 team in the league.
Definitely the best 3-2 team.
Wow.
They both teams left everything on the field here. I mean, you got to give credit to Atlanta. I mean, they're a very solid team, very talented, and they just made a couple mistakes in the 4th quarter, and it didn't pay off for them at all.
Player of the game going to be E.T. King. Can understand why. 20 of 27, 238 yards, 2 touchdowns. Not his greatest performance tonight, but he was solid. Didn't make too many mistakes, especially down the stretch. He has been as clutch as they come for Chicago. Well, for all of us in the Simulation Football League, alongside Charles Doherty, I'm Cameron Irvine. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports, and we are all going to take a breath. What a game. Chicago now 5-1. Have a great night, everybody.